Emily Chang standing by right now. She's the host and executive producer at Bloomberg Originals. She just got off the phone with Apple CFO. What did he have to say about China?
Hey, Romaine, look, I think the high level here is a beat on revenue after 4 quarters of declining sales, record earnings, and a beat on iPhone. But there's definitely a meaningful decline that we're seeing in revenue in China. I did just speak with Apple CFO Luca Maestri. He said, we're not happy with it, but we know that China is the most competitive market in the world, and we do still see a lot of long-term opportunity there. He did call out that the iPhone declined less than the other product categories. That is, the iPhone did better than the other product categories in China. He said that they saw a record number, a record install base. They're still seeing strong growth in upgraders, but again, this is a market that folks have been very concerned about based on replacement cycles, based on bans on foreign technology in the workplace there. Reports that Apple is cutting the price of the iPhone in China. So definitely a market to watch. As always.
Right, and I'm glad you mentioned the iPhone, because when we look at iPhone revenue, it still makes up the majority of Apple's revenue, despite all the different products and, of course, the emphasis on services. $69.7 billion, beating analyst estimates of $68.5. Can you give us some more color about the iPhone? What did he say?
Right. The iPhone, he called out emerging markets, saying they're seeing double-digit growth in emerging markets around the world. These are markets that get a lot less attention than China. Huge markets like India, like Indonesia, markets that have a lot of potential. Again, he talked about a record number of installs globally for iPhones, also a record number of new upgraders. And, I want to talk about that services number a little bit because, there was a miss on services, but there was also some growth and a new all-time record.
What did he have to say about the Vision Pro? I know it's still a very nascent product in terms of sales, but what's the expectation here on how that's going to perform?
Well, it is out tomorrow, so very excited for the public to be the judge of that. And I actually got my Vision Pro demo last week, and to be honest, it is a remarkable piece of technology, and he certainly emphasized that. He talked about the phenomenal reviews. He talked about a lot of promise in the enterprise, said a lot of companies are really interested in investing in the Vision Pro, so that's going to be an interesting opportunity. Of course, it's expensive. It is going to be a niche product, certainly, at least initially. And the big question is going to be how developers show up to the party. But I will say, personally, from my own experience, I mean, even some of the most basic things are pretty incredible. That you can look at a virtual button and tap your fingers, and an app opens, and you're suddenly in the middle of a room with 3D dinosaurs. It's pretty cool. But I think that price tag is going to be the decider, and what is the killer app experience? That's still the question.